Well, my name is Steve Miller. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Tierra del Sol Foundation. I've been in this position since January 8th, 1990, a day I remember very well. I've actually worked in this field since 1978, starting in direct care and essentially just bonding with the people that I've worked with and served. And it's been a career of a love affair, mutual love affair. There's always so much to do. There's so many lives are in the process of becoming. And there's so many ways that we think we can help, so much to do. So what makes Tierra del Sol unique is that there's a conviction that we all hold together. It's not just a belief, it's just a downright knowledge that each and every human being that we serve and each and every human being on this planet has both the desire to serve and lead a big and important life and the potential to serve and lead a big and important life. And so every day we see people in the process of becoming what they want to be and what they can be. It's an adventure. So people use a lot of terminology, a lot of education speak, a lot of technical terminology. I think there's something that we've learned, and that is all people are the same. And all of us go through the identical life passage from birth through childhood, through exploring who you could be and who you want to be and testing your wings and flying and falling and getting up again. We don't see a distinction between people with special needs and anyone else. And so what we try to do is really support people through that life journey. A lot of it is formal education, but a lot more of it is life education, experiences, learning from your successes, learning from your failures, and getting stronger. So I think people with special needs have the same rights as everybody else. And in our Declaration of Independence is the term life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No one is entitled to be happy, and no one should be condemned to a life without the opportunity to pursue happiness. The extent to which we can help people pursue their dreams and realize their dreams, you don't have to achieve your dream to be happy. You have to believe that you have a shot at it, and your life every day is moving towards that dream. If you have that belief in yourself and the contentment that you're on track, you can be happy every day regardless of the challenges that you face. So we found that the secondary high school career for people with special needs is uneven. I think there are some very gifted teachers that believe in their students and challenge them to be the best they can and don't accept less than their best. We've also found that in the special education community, sometimes there's a lower standard. There's a lower set of expectations as to what the life can be for people. When we get people who have been told to settle for less than their best, we believe our job is to shape them up. First we say, we know you can do better. Now you're going to learn to do better. We're not going to do anything for you. We're going to help you do things for yourself. And our Excel program, you could really think of as kind of like a boot camp. We know we have people that have the potential. We know we have people that if they're willing to try as hard as everyone else has to try, they can succeed in life. And the Excel program gives people 1 year, kind of force feeds what life is like to be a productively employed adult. At the end of 1 year, I think we have people that have the self-esteem and the work skills and they're ready to go. Well, we serve probably 200 young people every year that are in between the ages of 22 and 26. And they're all on a pathway to productive adult citizenship. Many are prepared to go right from a high school setting into a job or into community college. Others have not had the same set of challenging experiences in high school, and they really need a period of time, like a finishing school. For those people, we have the Excel program. Excel takes place partially on our campus, where they actually are in temporary paid employment slots, where they learn what work speed is. They learn what work to quality is. In addition to work skills, in order to make it successful in this community, you have to be able to get around in the community. Everybody commutes. Some people commute by bus, some people commute by car, bicycle. We get a lot of folks that have never had any independent community access training or opportunities. And so in that year, along with their job skills, we're helping people learn how to access and utilize the community. So the idea for everyone we serve is for them to find their place in the larger world. And for citizens between 20 and 60, gainful employment is what our culture pretty much indicates as success and full inclusion and acceptance. So paid employment is what we're after for every person we serve. Currently, that's probably our most significant challenge. The economy is still not fully recovered, not even close. And so we probably have 4 or 5 qualified applicants for every job opening we can find. We have 1 full-time job developer. We have a lot of community friends, my board of directors, myself, other leaders in the organization. They're constantly networking, trying to find employment opportunities. Some of our people are ready to move into a variety of different kinds of existing jobs, but for the vast majority of the people we serve, it's going to take an employer that's willing to take a look at the job, not compromise the expectations for the product at the end of the process, but a willingness to maybe re-engineer and customize so that people with some significant disabilities can follow a different methodology to get to the same outcome, which is a quality product or quality service. So the outlook for employers that are willing to embrace diversity and willing to embrace good community citizenship is really what our job development is about. We have more than 30 employment partners, and each and every one of them will tell you in their own way, in their own words, what our supported employees have contributed to their work culture. In some cases, it's actual productivity. In some cases, it's the ability to take someone with an advanced degree and have them work 8 hours on a highly technical job that leverages their skills, where our employees are able to do a less sophisticated job and therefore save the time and money. But in almost every case, you'll find that our employees contribute to the workforce culture. They remember birthdays, they're exuberant, they're fantastic role models. They want to be at work, they're appreciative of the job. They add, it's almost intangible, but it really is tangible when you see our folks in the break room, when you see them interacting with other employees. And that's what I've heard consistently from just about every employment partner that we have. So we spend our time trying to scrub labels off of people. One of the things that you observed here was that there was a sense of a joie de vivre, a joy, a lust for life. I think a part of that is because we don't use labels and we don't treat people as different. Every label, regardless of how it started out, is usually used to define and constrict potential. And so we tend to call people by their names. When we talk about the people that we serve in large groups, we'll say that participants in our program. We don't believe in the term special. We don't really believe in the term differently abled. We know that those things are true, but under the skin, under that very superficial level, we all are the same. And so we would much prefer to just accent the powers and the skills that each individual has without essentially drawing attention to the differences that we have. The difficulty in sharing stories is that there are so many. It isn't that I can't think of one. It's that as soon as I start thinking about that, I don't know where to start. I can think about one young lady who came here full of promise with parents that were so concerned that she would be hurt out there in the bigger world that they just kept their arms around her, so closely around her that they really never let her blossom. She happened to be a very gifted dancer and painter, ceramicist. And one day we had some people come on a tour, and a gentleman met this young lady and said, if she's that good here, perhaps she could work as an art teacher's assistant at our school. And the work that we had to do, not to encourage her to take the job, she was thrilled, but to have her parents be willing to accept the challenges of their daughter being in the outside world and all the horrible things that might happen to their precious daughter, and to work through all of those and have her parents finally take a deep breath and a smile and say, my daughter's an artist. She's an employee. She's a teacher's assistant. She's a real person. They were so proud of her. And that young lady worked for more than 10 years in that job. Every day we have stories like that. You're not describing a specific DOE program in California that I'm aware of. DOE requires schools to begin an individualized transition plan at 16, and then the IEP will determine if the person needs one-to-one for as long or as short of a period as possible. So there are some individuals that get a one-to-one as part of their IEP process, but it's not a structured DOE type of a program. If anybody asked me, my advice for the special education community for serving people in those years between 18 and 22 is that believe that every moment is precious, that every student you're serving is on a pathway somewhere important. And so if you have an opportunity to challenge that student, that's not your best work. I know you can do better than that. Don't waste that opportunity. If you have a moment to share with the family the successes that that student had, don't waste that moment, because your ability to encourage parents to believe in the possibilities of their child and to be a full partner in that is precious. Don't waste a moment. Have the highest expectations you can and push the envelope every day as a teacher. Get out in the community the best you can. Understand the real requirements to be successful in this world as an adult, and teach to those outcomes. You'll be surprised how successful you can be. We've talked about a very positive image of the future. And when you walked around, you recognize that people believe in that future. You can see that everywhere. There's a spirit of optimism. The challenge as an organization is to find the resources to make that positive vision of the future come true. We're very effective in advocating within our state and the federal government for available public funds, but there is no guarantee made by any public entity that public funds will be available to achieve all that life can be for an individual. The difference between government support and a life with quality and a true life with meaning is what we're able to bring to that equation. We have to raise about 20% of all of the funding necessary to serve the people appropriately. And that's a challenge every day and every year. So if anybody is listening to this and wants to be part of this really exciting adventure, we would really encourage you to contact us. And our website is www.tierradelsol.org. Thank you. For us to be successful, which means the people we serve are successful and the community is successful, we have to take every penny we can get from public sources, and we have to match that with private support. For every dollar that we get from the public treasury, we need to find 25 or 30 cents to match that. And when we can be successful with that, I'm not doing a very good job of that, sorry. What a lot of people don't realize is that Tierra del Sol is a private nonprofit organization. We have funding arrangements with the state of California, but the state of California never makes a guarantee that they're going to provide all of the funding necessary to meet the quality standards that we have. As a nonprofit, it's up to us to create partnerships in the community, get people that believe in our mission, corporations, individuals, and philanthropic foundations. If we're successful in having the community share our mission, then there's no end to what our students can achieve. In a nutshell, Tierra's mission is to help each and every person we serve lead the life that they can lead. We know that there's unlimited potential, and our job is to help each individual unlock that potential and lead a life with quality and a life with meaning. In the 23 years that I've been here, I've seen the world change. I've seen it change one person at a time. So I've been here just over 23 years. During that time, I've seen the world change in major ways and in very unique and individual ways. Each time one of our students breaks through and discovers a talent and an ability they didn't know they had, and goes out into the world and gets a job and serves others, they've changed the world for themselves and everybody that touches them. Their parents, the employment community, fellow citizens. Every time that happens, the world has been made a little bit brighter and a little bit stronger. That's really the mission of the Tierra del Sol Foundation. We have over 250 employees that are completely dedicated to having that vision come true for each person we serve and for the larger world. That picture was painted by somebody considered low functioning. That picture was painted by somebody considered low functioning. That picture was. We have people that are gainfully employed that have been hospitalized for major portions of their life because they would jump up and down and pull hair and swallow it, because they were in bad situations where people considered them dysfunctional. When you find the right match between an environment and a social ecology and people willing to embrace, the notion of function goes out the window. Do you believe that?
I do.
It's true. So I had a teacher many years ago at UC Santa Barbara. He was a Marxist sociologist, and he had very strong beliefs about concepts like mental illness and other marginalized population, where it's really a societal definition. It's not a definition, mental illness or developmental disabilities is not a definition that fixes somebody's corporeal being. It's a definition that's placed on people. And the more that society changes and is willing to broaden their acceptance, the less that label has meaning. The better we are as teachers and the more accessible employment opportunities are, people that were honestly believed to be unemployable are employable. So what is functionality? What does low functioning mean if somebody is gainfully employed at $8 an hour, can get to and from their place of employment, has friends that love them and that they love, they have a full life. I want to be that functional. It's a fairly small community of colleagues in the state of California, and many of the people that have been in the field for quite some time know each other, and we're very supportive of each other. We support each other. Last summer, I did take a wonderful journey to Israel with about 30 fantastic families, and I was struck by a couple of things. One was the overall sense of community that that nation has. And I think it's its small size and the truly existential risks to their survival that they face every day. In an environment like that, it was very clear that every life is precious. And if I could bring something back to this country, it would be the notion that there's no such thing as a disposable life, that everyone does matter, and that our community needs everybody. That was something that wasn't a disability issue in Israel. That was something that was very clear about the country in general.